What up, 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 what up? What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the 4th level of hell and sent us down to the 7th level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these pants on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the 3 kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs, I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Well, hey, people, hey, let me spruce up the place a little bit. Since we got guests today, spruce up the place a little bit. What is going on, people? We are here. We are here. Oh, God, we are here, y'all. What is up? What is up? What is up? Let me say hello to some of y'all to get it started. Hey, everybody in the bushes. We celebrate and applaud all of our people in the bushes because that's what you do. We got our guest here. Our guest looks great. She is waiting in the background, looking great. We will bring her up in just a second. But yes, we're gonna have some fun today. Y'all have been begging me, begging her, kicking, screaming, pleading, asking, waiting with bated breath, and all of that stuff. And so we put our heads together. We said we're gonna do something. We're gonna get people a little side. So we are here today to talk all things politics. And maybe some other stuff. Who knows? We'll just come up here, have a good time, and talk some things with you all and do the things that we do. I guess this means I have to bring her up. Well, let me say hi to y'all, then I'll bring her up. The people who are here. Hey, Jason, what's good, bro? Diamond Pearl Jim, you always early to class, always on time to class. Hey Morgan, Yana. Somebody was calling my phone. Sorry, y'all. Miss Bathang, Carrie W. Hey, what's going on, people? What's going on? All right. So without further ado, let me introduce to some of you all a native Miamian like me, one who loves politics like I do, formerly known as Beautiful Soul, the incandescent, effervescent, tantalizing one herself. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non binary, gender conforming members of our audience, I present to you none other than Tabitha of Tabitha Speaks.
Hey, everybody. El Teddy, you make me feel like a superstar.
What is going on, lady? What is going on, my love?
I am doing well. I am doing well. I'm a bit exhausted. But
It has been an exhausting day. Like I almost like I'm getting ready to go to Tallahassee for family's homecoming in a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get my body right and get ready for what's about to happen to me this weekend. I'm marching in an alumni band for the March of 100, and yeah, the
You
thing
are?
I am. I absolutely am. It's
Have
my
you been practicing and
no. But it's like riding a bike. Once you do it, my body is gonna hurt.
so El Teddy, in high school, I was in the band. I went to Carroll City.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I
Who
was in the
got that,
band.
when you was in the band? Who was the band director? Mr. Neal or
Uh-huh.
Mr. Neal?
It
Oh
was
yeah.
Mr. Neal. And
Hmm.
I know all that goes into preparing yourself.
Yes, and I didn't. And so God saved me. God bless my
Hey
heart.
everybody. Hey Abby. Hey
Hey Abby.
everybody.
Hey
Hey
Pinky Tiki.
Pearl.
Hey Harold.
Hey Miss
So
Bang. So I know what goes into getting your body ready and prepared. I mean, are you doing like the
mhm.
whole routine, or
I
are you
am going to
like,
be out there for the whole pregame, and then alumni band comes on for like the last part of the second half of halftime. So the
now
second
does
half,
that include the dancing
no,
and
we're gonna come on right after the
oh,
dance routine.
okay.
Praise God. I mean, don't get it twisted. After dance died, I was a
I mean,
rockstar. I
I
was a
hear
bishop,
you,
but
but there's a lot that goes into those performances. So when you said you was gonna be, and I'm like, well, you been practicing?
well, we have practice tomorrow night, so I'm gonna go
Okay.
back to practice tomorrow night so we can make sure everything is good, and then Saturday. Now I'm not doing the parade. Listen, first of all, it's too early in the morning.
What instrument do you play?
trombone, trombone.
I swear, El Teddy, I've seen you, but you're too young. I feel like we have met in our travels down in Miami, band wise, FAMU homecoming wise. I swear I feel like I know you. I've met you.
We had to have. I mean, I went to Cooper
Feel
Temple,
like I don't know if I've seen you.
but remember, my whole family. Well, not my whole family. I'm sorry. A portion of my family went to Carroll City and grew up in Carroll City. They was on 191st and 49th. So
What's
and I went to
even,
Cooper Temple.
it's been a while. What's over there?
And that's over by Lake Suffocate. That's behind Lake Stevens. Like think of behind Lake Stevens,
Okay.
that area over there. But I
Yeah,
went to Cooper Temple.
I've been all through
Hmm.
there. I swear I feel like we've met or we've been in the same room or something. I do. It's weird.
Well, pray my strength in the Lord. I'm gonna need all the strength
You're
and
gonna
all
be
the
fine.
ESP.
You're gonna be fine. And when you're done with your performance, you can go ahead and knock Ron DeSantis across the head.
Yeah, since I will be in Tallahassee. Listen, I'm gonna be told out. Listen, at some parts of this weekend, you can cut my skin and alcohol is gonna pour out. I'm just telling you how this is going on. This is the anniversary year for me and my freshman class. When we came up in 100, so it is, yeah, it's just gonna be pretty lit. We're gonna be turned, as they say, turned.
Well, I want you to have a good time, and of course, I want you to be safe.
Oh yeah, I once I get there, I'm giving somebody else my car key. Yeah, I'm not going to drive. But from the
I ain't
time I
talking
touch
about
down,
that. I'm talking about the pandemic.
oh,
I need for
it
y'all.
is
I
still
need
out
for you
there.
to be safe.
Well, I have my fortified masks. I have masks, but if I'm in the band and I got to play my instrument,
Hmm.
then
Have you
there's
been
that.
boosted? Have you
Oh, I've
had?
been boosted. I've had
Have,
all my flu shots. I've had my boosters. I've had both monkeypox vaccines. Oh, I'm not playing with these people.
okay.
I'm not
All
playing.
right.
I
All
am not
right.
playing.
I want you to be safe, and I want you to have a good time.
You would have guessed I played drums? No, those were crazy people. Percussion players in any band across the world. I don't care where you go, white, black, blue, or purple. You want to know the craziest people in the band? Go to the people who play drums.
Definitely. I
That's
agree.
universal. That is universal.
I would have thought you would have played a saxophone for some
No,
reason,
the,
but
the saxophones get on my nerves. But the drums, they were pretty crazy. They were crazy. They were wild. They were pretty wild. I was pretty wild back then too. Yeah. Wait, did you see DeSantis in the debate where he said
he said the what?
the truth should not be taught in high school? Where he
Yes, I
said that,
saw
oh
it.
yeah, it should absolutely not be taught that this was stolen land.
And he said because it's not the truth. Ron DeSantis is a liar. It is absolutely the truth. Y'all didn't discover America. He's still going with the Christopher Columbus lie. They didn't discover America. Do they even celebrate Christopher Columbus anymore? It's Indigenous Day now.
In a lot of the workplaces, it is indigenous people's day. However, there are still some places in these yet to be United States of America where you know that they celebrate all things Christopher Columbus, just like you still have people telling the lie that George Washington had wooden dentures when we know the truth is that George Washington had the teeth of slaves in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, speaking of indigenous people, I said this long time ago on this channel. Black people need to take a cue from our indigenous brothers and sisters and our Native Americans, because just like they whitewashed the history of the Native American and indigenous people of this country, they're
Mm-hmm.
going to do the same thing to Black people in this country.
Yeah.
The exact same thing.
I mean, he did it right there on the stage. He said it wasn't true when we all know it's a flat out lie.
I'm just.
Yeah, you can smack him across the head with your trombone.
If I see him, just have bail money for me. Listen. Y'all have the bail money for me, please. If I see him, y'all know, and y'all see them, accepting cash apps for my bail money over the week or on like Monday or something like that, y'all know it's because I
When do
ran
you do
into
back? When do you do
Sunday
back?
night. I'll be back Sunday
Sunday
night.
night. So if we don't hear from you like Monday or Tuesday, should we put out an APB? We need to call down there.
When I'm on in the handcuffs, I'm gonna tell my people, "Hey, listen, y'all make sure y'all go live for me and tell my people that I'm going to just going down. I need some cash apps.
I've been to
This is
FAMU's
good bail money.
homecoming.
And
I
it's
know how it
crazy.
get.
It is wild. Like
And
it is
it's a
wild.
good time. It's a straight
Yeah,
up party.
it is
It's a
a
good time.
party. And like I feel like they're gonna go hard this year because last year they had it, but not a lot of people. Some people were still afraid from the pandemic.
Oh
Not
yeah,
this year. These people are wide open. They do
yeah,
not care. They are wide open.
yeah.
So it might look like the ones like back in the 90s. Remember how it used to be back in the
Yes,
90s? Ooh.
yes. It was a party. It was a party. A straight up party.
hmm Like Tennessee Street and Monroe Street used to be shut down on certain
Mm-hmm.
parts because it was
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't even drive. You could not
Mm-hmm.
drive. You just had to get out your car and just go party
Mm-hmm.
with the people.
FAMU homecoming and Black Beach Week down in Daytona
In
with the dope.
Daytona.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your girl used to do her thing. She old now, and we in a pandemic. Yeah, she ain't doing that. But
Oh,
I'm gonna
Morgan
live
said she got a
vicariously through
t-shirt.
you. I'm gonna live
Okay.
vicariously through you.
Okay. Harold, you coming to the jailhouse up on post bail for me? You got me? Harold, you got me? You sure not? I
Morgan
need
said
all
she
this.
gonna make free
The
El
t-
Teddy t-shirts.
That's it right there, Morgan. I'm gonna need it. I need it all. I need it all. I'm telling you now. Yeah, I need it all. But so yeah,
I was
people
looking
since
at
we
these
talked about death
articles that you
sentence.
picked. I said, "Oh, they not too bad."
Cool.
The articles that you picked, they not. I
Oh,
mean, I thought I was gonna have to, cause
uh-uh.
I
No,
forget what you
speaking of
call it.
death, we may not get to all of them, but that's just what's in the dossier
I
for
forget what
today.
you call it. Oh, we gotta cleanse our palate, the sugar palate.
Do we need? You want some palate
I don't
cleansers?
think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think these are. I think most of our frustrations will come when we talk about Kanye.
When do you want to talk about him? You want to save him for later?
Yeah, because I've been
Yeah, let's
talking
save
about
him.
Kanye for
hmm
2-3 days now.
Yeah, we're gonna save
Yeah,
him for later.
we can save
Since
him
we
for
were talking about governor death sentence, let's go ahead and knock him out. Um,
okay. I got my
so
papers. Oh, the girls are fighting.
what girls are fighting?
Are you talking about the article
Oh yeah,
about
yeah, 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 yeah. The girls are
the
fighting. You're
girls
right.
are fighting?
Those girls are fighting. Yes, the girls are girly. The girls are fighting. Shut up,
Yes.
WCT. They absolutely are. Listen, but we knew this was gonna happen. It had to come to a head. It had to.
I
Who's
mean,
gonna win?
who's gonna win?
So
Who's gonna win? Because they both are
now
narcissistic and arrogant and think they the ish. Who's gonna win? Who you got?
the most to me was what baffles the mind to me is the hypocritical and two-facedness of Republicans because the person that the story should be about has made a complete about face. Now you got Marco Rubio, um, who's running as an incumbent to retain his seat in the Senate against Representative Val Demings.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a campaign rally 2 days before the election on Sunday, November 8th. Now, if you recall, he ran for president
He
back in
did.
2016.
Donald Trump dragged him.
Donald Trump drug him like he had to
Little
tow stuff.
Marco.
Baby, oh, he talked about little Marco Rubio so bad. And Marco Rubio, even if you remember, after Donald Trump got the nomination and all of those things came out, Marco Rubio was one of those never Trumper alleged people
Mm-hmm.
saying that he was damn near the Antichrist and all of this
Mm-hmm.
horribleness about him.
Mm-hmm.
God. And now he's come to kiss the ring. So now he has Donald Trump stomping for him at this campaign. rally that he's having on November 6th in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got a high profile Senate candidate.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Republican. You got the biggest name in the Republican Party,
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump, who's going to
Mm-hmm.
be there, who lives a hop, skip, and a jump away,
Mm-hmm.
an hour away in Mar-a-Lago. And so all of the big wigs are going to be there. Oh,
Right.
all of the important, everybody who is somebody,
Right.
anybody who's trying to do something in 2024, they going to
Yep.
be there.
Yep.
It's Miami. That's a big rally. Listen, you gonna have that black man. That black man who always be behind Trump with the Blacks for Trump sign. Diamond and Silk gonna be in the building. Baby, they gonna have Fox and Friends
Got
there that
what's
morning.
his name? Terrence Johnson, Terrence Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna be there.
Oh yeah,
He
oh
gonna
yeah,
be
they
there.
all gonna be there. Fox and
Hey,
Friends
really be.
gonna be there. Hey, really be. Hey, sis. Tucker Carlson. Hey, Cam's boo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everybody gonna be there.
And
Everybody gonna be
isn't
there.
it like the night before?
It's Sunday. It's the Sunday before. So it's like a day and a half before. So it's gonna be Sunday, I think Sunday night.
Yeah,
And
they
so,
gonna have a good party.
oh,
And Ron
listen,
DeSantis
let
ain't
me
gonna
tell
be
you.
there.
And they Trump told Ron, hey boo, hey sweetie, we don't need your kind here. No, your presence is not needed here. Sorry, your card has been declined. Sorry. I was like, now, did we really
And,
think
and think about this. Ron DeSantis is also an incumbent,
he's
and
running?
he could
For
benefit from
something.
being being able to speak at the rally.
Absolutely. Any Republican nominee in the state of Florida for any seat, you talk about
Yep,
school board seats,
yep,
they gonna be the county commissioner. You know what I'm saying? Dog catcher. Everybody gonna be up in the place.
yep. They
You
all
name
gonna
it,
be
if you
there.
got an R, baby, if you got an R in front of your name, they're gonna be like, yeah, we
Matt
here.
Gaetz gonna be there.
Oh, Matt
I
Gaetz
haven't
gonna be there.
heard from him. What's going on with? I don't want to divert from the subject.
No,
I'll ask
you
my
fine,
question.
but you know he gonna be there. You
But where has
know.
he been? He has not been in the spotlight. Where has he
Well,
been?
the problem is he doesn't really have a viable candidate that's running against him in his
The Rebecca
congressional district.
lady, the Rebecca lady. She's not viable.
Not in that district. They've already called it pretty much. She's double digits behind him right now.
Really?
Hmm. Once he secured the primary, we knew it was over at that point. Because that's a very red
They
area.
were neck and neck too.
I think they were, but what happened was the weak Dems, they try to pick and choose where they're gonna put their money, and it's like they're trying to lose. They're just trying to lose, just trying.
I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand it. You have to cover two fronts. You have to include in your messaging all that Joe Biden has done in the last 2 years. You got to include that in your messaging. And you have to battle the Republicans. I don't understand what the problem is.
The problem is they pick and choose who they want to back. Don't let the candidate be a little too progressive for them. Oh no.
Is
You
John
know,
Fetterman progressive?
not too progressive. He's a little more middle of the road leaning, and he has to be because there's large portions of Pennsylvania that's very red. Like mostly Pittsburgh area and Philadelphia area are blue. The rest of Pennsylvania is pretty red. So he had to be pretty middle of the road leaning. But the problem is the Democrats do stupid shit like put money behind Republican candidates just because they don't want a progressive person to win, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
And that's why a lot of these crazies ended up being the candidate. I asked that because I've been hearing them talking trash about John Fetterman, and you know, he's having speech issues because of the stroke that he had, and they are publicly downing a Democratic candidate who suffered a stroke, dealing with a medical issue, and they are publicly talking bad about him.
But here's the thing. They did it wrong. The time to do that was during the primaries. That was the time. If you Democratic Party did not want this man there, because it's not a newsflash that the man had a stroke. It's not.
Right.
This is known. It's not a. And so the time, if you wanted him out, was during the primary. Once the voting public of this great state of Pennsylvania decided that that was the person that they wanted, you as a DNC should back the person the people voted that they want.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
I agree. I did a live earlier today, and I feel like I feel like the Democratic Party is divided. They are not moving as one machine, whereas corrupt and as hypocritical and as much of the misinformation that they spread, the lies, they not a part of the family values. They are a trash party, but they back each other up. Did you see Lindsey Graham backing up,
turning into a whole tomato over there with your boy Herschel?
But he was backing up Herschel. He had Herschel's back.
He was. And did you notice that Herschel was mute? Mama ain't saying nothing, because they know as soon as that young man opens his mouth, baby, it is over. You can cancel Chris. But look, as much as Herschel ain't had no strokes, but Herschel Walker can't talk either.
He's incompetent.
You don't see the Republicans falling back on him.
Right, the Republicans right there supporting him.
Right there with him. Right there. So why can't the Dems do the same thing?
Exactly.
Make it make sense.
And I think voters aren't taking too well. They're not even putting up a united front. So I think that we was talking about Ron DeSantis. I'm sorry.
We was talking about Governor death sentence. The thing about it is, it's just a slap in the face to him. You know, your boy Trump is giving him the middle finger, like, that's what Trump is doing. Because Trump is like, you gonna try and run against me? Nah, bro, let me flex on you right in your home state 2 days before election. 2 days. Like, that's a real flex. That's a real, like, big F you.
And he's leaking it out there that Ron DeSantis isn't appreciative of all that he's done for him.
Oh, yeah, he already said that. I made Ron DeSantis who he was, because he did come and campaign for Ron DeSantis in 2018. He absolutely did.
He did. And I will say that Ron DeSantis, he hasn't been bowing down to Donald Trump like the Lindsey Grahams and the Marco Rubios. He ain't been doing that. He been on his own thing, doing his own agenda.
But that's because he knows he wants to run, and he thinks he has a shot.
Do you think he has a shot?
I really don't think so. I really don't. His best bet is to try to acquiesce to him and become his running mate, but I don't think Trump would pick him.
No.
Absolutely do not believe Trump would ever pick him.
Yeah, because Ron DeSantis, for as much of a punk as I think he is, he puts up this front like he's this tough guy.
And the thing about it is, Donald Trump doesn't want somebody that's not going to bend the knee.
Right.
Shout out
Right.
to Game
Hey,
of Thrones.
Tracy.
Hey Tracy, boo. So
It's
listen,
gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be tuned in to
not
see what's going to be said.
why did Morgan call Herschel Walker the Black Boomhauer from King of the Hill? Nobody can understand Boomhauer.
Lord,
Oh,
that response that he gave when he was talking about healthcare. I
oh boy. Hey Derek, what's going on,
wish
Derek?
I
Yeah,
had the. I wonder if I still got it. The audio from when he responded to. Can I play it, L. Teddy?
yeah, you can. Tracy, start on my 500-word essay since you late to class. Go ahead, start on my 500-word essay
Okay,
since you late to class.
let me turn the volume up. I think this is it.
Because if you have an able-bodied job, you're going to have health care. But everyone else have health care is the type of health care you're going to get. And I think that is the problem. And what Senator Warnock wants you to do is depend on the government. What I want you to do is get off the government health care and get on the health care he's got to get you a better health care. So that's what I'm trying to do, to make you independent rather than dependent.
Wow. Just wow.
I want you to get off the government's health care and get on the health care he's got.
But
What?
isn't that the government's health care since he's a sitting senator? I'm just saying. Like, I'm trying. It's so hard. But you got Republicans openly backing that willingly, but the
Yes.
Dems are backing away from Fetterman. Make it make
Yes.
sense. And they know they need that seat. They need that seat.
And what he's dealing with medically has nothing to do with his intellect. He's of sound mind and he is competent. I think it's called aphasia. It just comes out of the mouth wrong. And as he continues to heal, it gets better. And I'm like, they talking bad about this man. Did you hear what Joe Scarborough said? Most news media won't talk about it, but this was a mess on John Fetterman.
Well, you know, Joe Scarborough. Listen, and this Joe Scarborough represents some of the people who I hate the most.
Uh-huh.
And that is the Liz Cheneys of the world and Kissingers of the world. These people who've been Republicans all their life and are really backed all of these Republican ideologies. All this time, the same ideologies that were racist, bigoted, and discriminatory. And now, just because y'all want to be anti-Trump, now we're supposed to embrace you over here on our side.
Well, they wasn't.
The Dems are doing
They
it.
helped get Trump in the office with all of that, the free interviews. He was all in every morning, and they would interview him and with softball questions, and so yeah, they was a part of Trump getting in the office.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until he said Mika was bleeding from the face down at Mar-a-Lago. That's when they got upset.
But they were here for it.
They
all
were.
of it.
They were.
So all of these people who I'm no longer a Republican. Listen, here's the thing. If there was anybody, if I was the Dems, and I wouldn't even do it in this case, but if there was anybody who I was going to pull my support away from, it would be the Charlie Chris's of the world. Because let's not remember, you were the Republican governor of this state.
He was
elected 4 years. Now we're still gonna back him because he's the Democratic nomination name, because the Democrats can't find a viable candidate in the state of Florida to save their lives. Like, if you put a gun to my head and said, I'm gonna shoot you if the Democrats find a viable candidate for governor, I would take that bet. I'd be here for it. Go ahead. I'm here for it, but they can't seem to find one. Anything, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Speaking of your boy Herschel, so another lady has come out.
Another lady has come out. She's known as Jane Doe. She's remaining anonymous.
She said it was from back in '93.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody coming in, Dee Daniels. Hey everybody.
Hey, Dee.
I think I saw some other people. Teddy C. Hey, how are you? Hey everybody. BDI Derek, everybody. So here's my thing. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's too easy for them to spin this because you come less than 2 weeks before the election. So it looks suspicious.
It looks suspicious.
Already. And then you go to who of all attorneys?
Gloria Allred. The ambulance chaser.
Really? Gloria
all
Allred.
the attorneys, out of all the competent female attorneys that you can pick, you go to Gloria Allred.
Like, I just can't. Gloria Allred?
Gloria Allred. Did you see the press conference? I didn't see the press conference.
I saw the press conference. It was a Gloria Allred press conference, which means it's really all about her. Like, she was more than happy for the lady to say, I want to remain anonymous, so all of the cameras can be on her.
Wasn't there a lady sitting next to her, though? Was that her assistant?
Yeah, I think that was somebody from her staff or something like that. But the thing about it is, Gloria Allred, in your, infinite wisdom, if she's truly trying to remain anonymous, wouldn't you have done like the voice, the thing that makes the voice,
the scrambler type thing?
Yeah, where their voice doesn't sound the same. Because if I know somebody and you'll know the voice. Say, if I hear their voice, I'm gonna be real quick and say, "Yep, I know you are." Because you gotta think if I don't think Herschel Walker is this smart, but if it would have been like a Trump or somebody, they would have had a whole news conference with pictures of the lady and all. Here she go right here. She lying. Let me show you all the things that she lied about.
Did she show receipts, oh Teddy?
She showed no receipts. She showed no receipts.
Well, why they called the press conference if they weren't showing receipts?
Because it's Gloria Allred. At least I ain't see no receipts. Let me see if they put it in the article. But I looked at the I absolutely looked at the press conference. And when I looked at this good press conference, I ain't see no good receipts.
Well, when I thought she had proof.
Yeah, the second accused is Jane Doe. She spoke to reporters via audio Zoom call. She was on the audio Zoom call. She was not even there.
Listen, if I was messing around with Herschel Walker, what y'all call him? Boomhauer? What's his name? Boomhauer. If I was messing around with Herschel Walker and I ended up getting pregnant from Herschel Walker, nobody would know but me, God, and the abortion clinic. It's got to be the money, because you saw the article that came out about him, about that work camp.
Now she did. Now I guess if you want to make this receipts, she did play what she said was audio of Herschel Walker talking to the lady back in the day about it. But
that's like a blue dress move. Semen on the blue dress. She said that
it was a telephone message, and clearly that had to be on a voicemail. I mean, on an answering machine, not even a voicemail. That's answering machine. Well, we speak the little tapes. Generation Z kids
maybe that would be easy to save.
The Generation Z kids would never understand and never know what it's like to have an answer machine where you leave a message. Remember the first time they had it when you could do it all on the phone, when you could leave the message, store the message and stuff on the phone? I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world. And I remember being in college and I used to queue up the right song to play before the message. Like, you had that song that was supposed to represent you playing
Right,
before you started it, and then you come in
right.
with the deep voice. It was good.
And this
And
was the landline. When you had well, it had to be a landline. And remember, everybody in the house could have their own separate number, but it all ring to the house. And so everybody could set up their own voicemail. That's how it was in my house.
according to the lady, she said that the message that he left was from when he had just landed in Europe to go be on the United States bobsled team.
Oh, is that why Lindsay mentioned he's an Olympian? And I said
Mm-hmm.
an Olympian? He's not an Olympian. And so
He
I had to
was
go I had to do research. See, I thought if you're an Olympian, you actually won a medal. But they say no, if you participated in the Olympics, then you are considered an Olympian. Why are you looking like that, El Teddy?
because I mean, next thing we know, he's gonna be, a Nobel Peace Prize winner. I mean, he did remind you all that he didn't kill JFK. He just wanted y'all to know that.
That just came out of left field. I was like, what?
In case you were wondering, he did not kill JFK. Just in case you were wondering, he also did not shoot President Abraham Lincoln either. He was also not responsible for that. He was also not aboard the Titanic when it ran into the iceberg. No, I don't know, because if we're at the point where we're just naming random things,
it just came out. I was
right.
like,
he also did not land on the moon with Neil Armstrong and all of them. These are things that he did not do. He wasn't at the Last Supper with Jesus and the 12 disciples. I'm just trying to figure out all the different things. He wasn't at the March on Washington in 1963. He was not there. He wasn't there. He just wants you to know where he wasn't. He also wasn't present for class at the University of Georgia any day that he was supposed to be enrolled there. We know that's where he wasn't.
That was just like him pulling out that fake badge at the debate. It was like
From Party City. Like, bruh, you in Party City?
And then he came out with that sheriff. Did you see that video?
Mm-hmm.
He came out with the sheriff, and the sheriff confirmed that it's a real badge. And then Val Demings posted, I think it was on her Instagram.
Yeah, she did. She said, no, this is
this was real.
But see, the sheriff and the people had already said, because the United Sheriffs and Sheriff Deputies of America came right out and said, that's something that you put on your trophy shelf. That's not something that you go around saying, I'm a freaking sheriff deputy. You kidding me? You're not even licensed. You gotta be licensed. You do realize you have to be licensed to do that. Next thing you know, he's gonna be Doogie Howser, MD. He's gonna be over there doing. He's gonna be over there doing all kinds of medical procedures like Dr. Miami. This is what we've been reduced to.
Right. And it's just, I said it when he announced that he was running, I was like, the Republican Party really doesn't think anything of the Black community. Out of all of the candidates that they could have chosen, Black candidates that they could have chosen to run, and they chose this incompetent buffoon. That tells you what they think of Black. Hell, they could have picked Vernon Jones. He lost his seat. He ain't doing nothing. They could have picked him.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Here's the thing. It's not even just what they think of us. It's also what they think of each other. Because they know that their own base will settle for this level of buffoonery.
Right.
They know the imbeciles and the least of us that are a part of their base will go ahead and elect someone like this, because Oh, he won us some football games. When he played at Georgia, he won a national championship, and many of them weren't even alive when that happened.
Right. And that interview with him sitting there like a bump on the log, and Lindsey Graham going off a mile a minute. Watching that whole interview, I said, this right here is the proof that I needed to see, because we all been saying the only reason why they pushed Herschel Walker up to run is because they can control him. He gonna do what they tell him to do. And in that moment, he sat there saying nothing, and Lindsey Graham was taking control. Ladybugs was taking control.
Lady G.
and he's just sitting there. I said, that's exactly what is going to happen in the Senate.
Can I tell you, I still get hate mail at least once every couple of days, and hate comments and mail about that Lady G video that I did when that first came out a few years ago. I think I did that back in like 2020. People still send me like emails and put comments and stuff, cussing me out. It'd be so funny. I'm not the one snorting lines of coke off of the hard erect penises of male escorts in the District of Columbia.
I mean, everybody knows the story now. So why they messing with you? Tell them to leave you alone.
Baby, they be so serious. I be looking at it like, oh, you real bad. The man had a good time. Let him live his life. Listen,
yeah, it's so
I can't call it. I don't know. I'm just here reporting the politics. Speaking of contested races, we got several, because we know we have people all over the country here and all over the world. We have people in other countries, but certainly we have people in some very contested states. Y'all know we have been reporting, especially on these Senate seats that are very hotly contested, like up there in Wisconsin with Ron Johnson and my frat brother Mandela Barnes. Basically, they're a toss-up. Last time we checked, hey, Quintessential, last time we checked, it was a toss-up.
I mean, they're like in a dead heat.
It's basically a dead heat. And if we go out and do what we have to do, this very competent, intelligent Black man can be elected to the United States Senate. He absolutely can. And so we're certainly looking for that. There's another one we just talked about, Pennsylvania, with Fetterman and Mehmet Oz. Now, here's the thing. If the man is competent enough to continue to serve as the lieutenant governor of the state of Pennsylvania, which is what, the 5th or 6th largest state in the country, wouldn't it stand to reason that he would be cognitively functioning well enough to serve? Hell, if you're trying to have Herschel Walker in the United States.
Yeah, they talking trash about Fetterman, but open arms to Herschel Walker, and Herschel Walker is mentally incompetent.
Y'all let Susan Collins rant and rave up there, and she's certifiable. No, I'm serious. Y'all got her running around the Senate.
She's concerned. That's her favorite words. I'm concerned.
Dianne Feinstein, who's barely hanging on to life.
Didn't she win her seat?
I think so.
Oh, no. Dianne Feinstein is in California.
She's not up.
She's in California. But she's up in
2024, right? I think. She's up in 2024.
I don't think she's gonna be able to do it.
No, she says she's running again, and the thing about it is California doesn't want her to. But they're letting her, and they've been talking for the last maybe about 5 or 6 years about the fact that she can barely keep it together. She's mentally not there anymore. But y'all got a problem with John Fetterman. I'm trying to make it make sense. I'm really trying to,
This is what I'm
because
talking about. Why aren't they rallying around that man? What's
they
her name? Shirley Jackson.
I'll give you another example. Over in South Carolina, you have Tim Scott running against the black woman. Well, I think her name is Crystal Matthews. I think is her name. You haven't even heard
Tim
her
Scott
name.
was running.
You haven't even heard anything because the Dems they didn't even try. We talked about her on this channel, Crystal Matthews in South Carolina. She's running for the United States Senate.
Are they neck and neck too? Or
no, they could. It started off where people were disgruntled with Tim Scott, but after they lost, and this is Jamie Harrison. Remember, Jamie Harrison is out of South Carolina. He lost to Lady G 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's the chair of the he's the chair of the DNC right now. He
with messaging.
Like, to me,
that's disappointing.
At the beginning of election cycle, Tim Scott was vulnerable, and there were several Dems that ran for that primary seat. Okay. Crystal Matthews won, but they don't like Crystal Matthews because she's too progressive for them. She's too left for them. And you know how the Dems get. If you're too far to the left for them, then they say, yeah, we're not going down that road. We'd rather let Tim Scott just take the seat. But she's running, and we still got, what, 10 days or something like that before? I mean, maybe 11 or 12 days now. Before election, you can still, citizens of the great state of South Carolina, the Palmetto State, have Crystal Matthews, upset Tim Scott. Y'all's friend, y'all's boy.
Let me write this down. I might do a video on her.
Crystal Matthews. We got Cherry Beasley up there in North Carolina. You still don't hear enough about her. She is has a very good shot of winning in North Carolina, that Senate seat in North Carolina. Cherry Beasley, beautiful black woman there. She's a very good shot. Last time I checked, which was about a week ago, the margin of error was still in the spread was still in the margin of error.
Cherry Beasley?
In North Carolina. She's running against it's in North Carolina. He's out of it's an open seat, but it's I see the guy's face. He's a sitting representative. Is that Masters? I can't remember. It escapes me right now. I have to look it up. But she's running God, what's this guy? I want to say it's Masters, isn't it? Let me hold on.
I'm looking it up.
Ted Budd, that's who it is. It's Ted Budd.
Ted Budd.
But for a while there, they were deadlocked for a while. Thank you, Bobo. What's good, Cookie? They were right there. So it's still enough time, even then.
Oh, I've seen her.
Racist.
She was on Morning Joe. I've seen her.
But there haven't been. They've not done right. Even over there in Arizona, where you have that loony bin, Carrie Lake. She's running against I think I had an article on that chick. At some point
she's certifiable nut.
But yeah, she is. But the lady, nobody's out there helping. God, what's the lady who's running against? Where's Jason? Jason, who's in the bush? Jason, what's the Democratic lady that's running against Carrie Lake out there, Arizona?
What happened to Governor Whitmer? Is she not up?
No, she's running. If you recall, that's in Michigan. She won the Democratic nomination. She's running against another woman, Katie Hobbs. Katie Hobbs, that's who it is. The problem with the Katie Hobbs thing is Carrie Lake is over here having big thousands of people in the arena Trump rallies. Katie Hobbs is having PTA meetings with 10 and 15 people.
What? I mean, why aren't the I mean, I've seen Joe Biden out there, but okay, I understand that he's not highly favored. But
here's the thing. That's just like we said. We were talking the other day on this channel that Obama is saying that he's going to start doing stuff now. It's a little too late.
I finally
Like
saw
do this
I
before.
finally saw a PSA from him. Is that what they call it? A campaign? ad?
Mhm.
I finally saw one. Still haven't seen anything from Michelle. I'm telling you, something's going on behind the scenes, El Teddy. Because
So, 'cause they haven't been anywhere, and a lot of these races are up for grabs, and it's like they're trying to lose. Like if and when the bloodbath comes, like I've been saying for the last 2 years, we know why, because they didn't try. They didn't try.
if anybody could galvanize people to get to the polls, it's those two. I think they're the only two that will be able to galvanize people to get to the polls.
Like you should see them. They should be up there in Wisconsin. They should be over there in North Carolina. They should be down in Florida with Val Demings. They should be over there in all of those contested governor seat, gubernatorial races like Georgia, Arizona.
Why
There's
is he not
another.
here with Stacey?
That's what I'm saying. All of these, because you don't just need Congress. You absolutely need these governor mansions. They're
Something
not doing
is
anything.
going on, and I don't know if it's on the Obama's part. Are they done? Have they put their foot down, or is it on
The
the
DNC.
Democrat? Yeah, is it on? But something's not right. Something's going on. Something's
Well,
going
if
on.
you notice, and I don't know if it may be on the DNC because you really haven't seen any of that old guard, any of those
About
old.
Hillary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You haven't seen any of the old Democrats out there stopping for anybody.
Bill Clinton.
And so what
No,
it makes it look like it's a DNC thing. It could be spearheaded from Joe Biden because Joe Biden doesn't want to feel intimidated by the fact that these other people will cast a huge shadow over him and the White House. And that may remind people of how
that's a
of
good
what Joe
point.
Biden is doing. It could
That's
very well be. I need to I need to talk to my contacts in the DNC and see what's going on. Oprah has endorsed our candidate for governor. They have a hotly contested gubernatorial race there. Because remember,
She's doing an
Maryland
interview with Stacey Abrams.
has a Republican governor right now because the guy, I think Ben Jealous, ran in 2018. I know
Mm-hmm.
Ben Jealous. He's a good Kappa man, but he
Mm-hmm.
lost that seat in 2018. So yeah, it's several of these seats around the country where you have. Let me tell you another seat, a race you ain't heard a lot about. Now watch this. Think about over there in Texas with Governor Hot Wheels. You ain't heard a lot about Beto O'Rourke.
No, I have. Well, okay, when you say I haven't heard a lot about federal work, do you
You
mean
haven't
like
seen a
in
lot of, I should say, right?
mainstream
Yes,
media?
you haven't seen a lot of, because I heard more about Beto in 2018. No, wait, no. Was that 2018?
No,
No,
I've been
2020.
seeing
2020.
Beto. He's been making moves, but it's been social media wise. He's all over social media,
The
but not
messaging,
mainstream.
right, the messaging through mainstream media is just not there. And I don't know if and that's been across the board for the DNC. And maybe that's their push that they're going to go more social media to reach the young people. But the problem with that is
But they
you're
ain't
shooting
even
yourself in the
using their heavy hitters for
exactly
social
'cause,
media.
like Jamie Harrison sucks,
He does.
which may explain why you lost to Lady G when Lady G was very vulnerable. Lady G
I
should
think
have
Lady
lost that
G
race.
cheated. I think Lady G and Mitch McConnell, some way, somehow, cheated.
You got that Senate seat out there in Kentucky.
Rand Paul and Charles Booker. Now I see Charles Booker all over social media, just like I see Marcus Flowers all over social media. But I don't see them in mainstream media. And you're right, that has to be the DNC. But you got two powerful heavy hitters that are beloved across this country, across the aisle, and nobody has seen them really. That's weird to me. Michelle and Barack are loved across this country, across race, across the aisle. If anybody can galvanize Democratic voters, it is those two. And something
And
is
even if
up.
you're not trying to get the Dems, you should be trying to get the independents and swing voters, because he was very good at getting those people to come along to get out and vote with him. He was very good about that. But
I don't know if I believe that Joe Biden is just so vain. You think he's that vain?
I don't want to say it is Joe Biden, but Joe Biden did come out in the presidential debates and say he is the Democratic Party. Remember, he did tell y'all that he is the Democratic Party, which is a sober and scary notion to think about, him saying that he is the Democratic Party. Yeah, he said that during the debate. He absolutely said that.
And you know what? Gary Chambers and that crazy white man down in Louisiana.
And you see what they did in Louisiana, because they ain't like Gary Chambers. They just opened it up to make it where everybody is still on the ballot.
What?
Yeah, exactly. This is the buffoonery that we got going on. This is the stupidity that we have going on. Meanwhile, y'all worried about all these things. Meanwhile, you got people with shotguns intimidating people from voting in the great state of Arizona.
Have they caught him yet?
Not that I'm aware of.
That strongly worded statement that Maricopa County said they put out wasn't strongly worded, in my opinion. If it was strongly worded, I expected to hear threats of arrest and investigation, and there was none of that in that statement.
Listen, they're trying to put a message out to people all over this country, specifically Black people. We do not want your votes. We're going back to Jim Crow South. We're going to be standing at ballot boxes with shotguns, telling people. They said they were taking videos and pictures of people as they were putting votes in the ballot box, taking pictures of their license plates, following them, telling them, asking them what they were doing, and cocking their shotguns at people. You also have.
Did you see the nun? I think she was a nun. She had this thing, and she had her mask on. Maybe it was just a towel. She looked like a nun to me. But I saw a news report about what was going on out there in Arizona. And she said she was there to watch the watchers. So she was watching them, watching other people trying to, or intimidating other people trying to drop off their ballot. This is going to be a whole mess, because you got armed individuals watching the ballot boxes, intimidating people. And then you got this woman coming out to watch them. It's getting ready to be a mess. And they just, I haven't heard anything as far as we investigating, and
yeah,
they ain't doing
you know
nothing.
what?
It could be the cops. They
This
could have been
was
the cops.
spiking out. Listen, we're already spiking out people. It's time. It's time. It is time.
Taste the biscuit.
Here we go.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Get your honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my chicken wings. You get none of that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes on my chicken wings. Take us out, Moose.
Taste the biscuit.
Only goes to tell you, don't win at the church. You can win it. Call my mama side. Jesus. I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. Taste the biscuits. Since we're spiking out, we might as well start our sugar spike segment of the programming.
And I didn't think we would have any sugar spikes.
Listen, when you stop me from voting, I start spiking out, okay? Because they are really, this is a full-throated effort to stop us. You see the article I sent you about the black lady that they that's suing the great state of Tennessee because they tried to lock her up for 6 years because they said that she tried to, let me give the people the background of the story. The lady, she is an activist. She helped found Black Lives Matter, I think Memphis.
Pamela somebody, right?
Yeah, her name is Pamela Moses. So Pamela Moses had gotten arrested for other charges. She had felony convictions, got arrested. She went to jail. She served her time. She was put on probation. At the conclusion of her probation, she did all she was supposed to do. She wanted her rights restored, which you can do in the great state of Tennessee. She went through the paperwork. She even got her probation officer to sign off on it saying, yes, Ms. Moses is good. She did everything she was supposed to do. I will certify and sign off. And here you go. You can turn that in.
Yep.
And that's where it starts to go south. So then let me put her picture up so y'all can see. I think I had a picture of her. Hold on. I did have a picture. Where'd the picture go? Here she is. That is her. Right there. That is Miss Moses.
Okay.
So she is an activist. She is she absolutely is in the community. So she even ran for mayor. She ran for mayor of Memphis in 2019.
Wow.
So she ran for mayor. She went through the whole process of getting her rights restored, so forth and so on. The probation officer absolutely certified that this happened. Right? The state later said that that was inaccurate, and they accused her of knowing her criminal history disqualified her from voting, running for office, and manipulating the probation officer into believing otherwise. So they said not only did she because of her criminal history that she wasn't qualified to regain her voting rights, she also wasn't qualified to run for office. And they said that she manipulated the probation officer into believing that she was, because she did all of that. Here's what the judge said, okay? This is what Shelby County Criminal Judge Mark Ward said, quote, "You tricked the probation department into giving you documents saying you were off probation. After you were convicted of a felony in 2015, you voted 6 times as a convicted felon." End quote. That's what the judge said, that she tricked. Let me get his words right. Yeah, she tricked the probation department. This is a sitting judge. This is an elected judge as well. Just so you know, in the great Shelby County, located in the great state of Tennessee. So, according to now, she maintained that she genuinely believed she was free and clear to vote and run for office. So, according to the commercial appeal, following the district attorney's office's delivery of a crucial piece of evidence that the Department of Corrections had previously misplaced, Ward ordered a new trial there was a new trial ordered for Miss Moses. The
Mm-hmm.
former Shelby County District Attorney General Amy Wyrick's office later decided not to retry the case and instead dropped her charges altogether, uh, and so forth. So they found, here's the long and short of it, they found another piece of evidence that proved that she wasn't wrong, that she had never done anything wrong, and they were getting ready to lock her up. Well, they actually did put her in jail. She went to jail and she was supposed to serve 6 years, and when they found a piece of evidence, she was let out after 82 days. After 82 days in jail, she was let out. She is now suing the state of, and she
Heck
was let
yeah.
out this past April. She's suing the state of Tennessee. She's suing the former Shelby County District Attorney General, and she's suing the top prosecutor for Shelby County, Steve Mulroy.
What about the judge? No,
You can't
can't
sue
sue a judge.
They're not gonna let that. They're not gonna let that go down like that. But can one of my mods take care of the troll? Don't worry about it. I
I
got it.
I I I, I hope she
I
get
got it.
every cent.
But
I hope she gets every last cent.
they did all of this to this woman. The lawsuit alleges the district attorney's office was aware of the Shelby County Election Commission's error that led to the certificate of restoration of Moses's voting rights. It's what we have here is
Hey Xavier.
hey Xavier, we have the same thing that happened in the state of Florida with Governor
Yes,
DeSantis. You have elected officials whose job it is to say whether or not someone is eligible to vote. To get a
right,
voter registration card doesn't just mean, or if you turn in paperwork, we just give you a card. It's not supposed to work like that,
right, right.
because that's how you get people on a jury. Jurors are selected from voter registrations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's even more reason why you, and for all of this voter fraud, and these are states led by Republican legislatures and Republican governors and Republican secretaries of states, all of whom are in charge of elections. And you have these very same people out here nilly-willy telling people, oh, you turned in a voter registration form, we'll just give you a voter registration card. No matter what. Either that's happening, you just nilly-willy giving them out to anybody that puts in a form, or you are calculated and you're trying to catch people. You're deliberately giving somebody who you know is not eligible to vote a voter registration form, and then when they take that voter registration form that the state has given them, saying that they have the authority to vote, and then you ceremoniously, the same state, say, oh, we were wrong, but we're going to arrest you anyway.
It's also another form of intimidation.
Mm-hmm. They absolutely are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they want is, they don't want people who truly should be having their rights restored to even try to go get their rights restored and try to register to vote.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It
It's
was
something
heartbreaking what they, because when they did what they did in Tampa, they had news crews following the cops, or was it body cam footage?
Mm-hmm.
And those people were just
Remember, there was
like,
the one lady that was on her way to work, and she
yeah,
was like, "What are we talking about?" The one man
right.
was over there minded. These are people. What's the whole point of correctional facilities? Which is what you call them, departments of corrections. If people have gone there, did their time, allegedly, as I put up my quotation fingers, been corrected, and then only for you to tell them, no, you're not corrected, and you never will be. Like,
Well, it's the majority of us, and so they want less Black people voting, and yet you got Black people out here talking about my vote don't count, and they doing all of these tricks, schemes, scams to try to swindle you out of your ability to vote.
yep.
Why would they do that if your vote didn't count? If your vote wasn't important, they wouldn't be doing all of this to keep you from voting.
They'll tell you, oh, go ahead on and vote. It don't matter.
Mm.
I did
I
go on
hope
the
she gets
vampire
every
research.
red
Oh,
cent.
I hope she does. She's suing for emotional and punitive damages. Suing.
And the people down in who were arrested with Ron DeSantis's scheme, they've already been let go. They've already been released. Charges dropped. It's all a
It's
scheme.
just a mess. It's all a setup for them to have this big, press thing and this media
Mhm.
coverage of this stuff just to a whole pomp and circumstance thing. Speaking of people doing wrong things with voters, did you see that that the two guys pled guilty over there in Ohio?
Mhm.
Um,
That world guy. Hold on,
Jacob
I
Wold
printed it.
and Jack Berman, they were calling majority black people and brown people,
Oh, it was black and brown people that they were calling.
hmm almost completely Democrat, almost exclusively Democrats, mainly black and brown people. They were calling them with these robocalls,
Mhm.
um, and telling people, well, the alleged scheme, which occurred during the 2020 U.S. election cycle, falsely told recipients of these robocalls that voting by mail could lead to their information being used to carry out forced vaccinations, debt collections, and other consequences. So they were calling around with robocalls telling people if you, I mean, it was crazy that if they vote by mail, that means that they're going to be forced to get vaccinated. They're going to be forced that all of their information is going to be sold to debt collectors
Mhm.
and other things that they knew people would not want to have happen to them.
Yeah, black people ain't got time for that. We don't want to be messed up with the law in no kind of way. And so, can you imagine how many people they turned away?
hmm it was intimidation. It was voter intimidation, and it certainly infringed on people's rights to vote. It's no
Absolutely.
it's no secret that there's a reason that the state of Ohio, which has several large cities there, continues to go red when a state with the population of Ohio shouldn't
Right,
perpetually be red.
right, right. Did they sentence them or they were just found guilty?
Um, they
I
pled
see a
guilty.
$5 million fine.
Um,
Oh, they pled guilty?
they did plead guilty. I don't believe they've been charged yet. They haven't been charged yet. So we're still waiting on them to be charged. The FCC is seeking I'm sorry, they were seeking a $5 million fine against the two men. And this was a big case back. I remember in 2018, like it was a really big thing because the guy thought he was smart. He was one of those young tech guys that thought he was smarter than
Jacob,
everybody. And
talking about
um,
Jacob Wool. He was
mhm,
always involved in some type of scheme.
mhm.
Always. And so this is what got him.
So he pled guilty, and I don't know if the FCC is gonna get that $5 million, but
Yeah, yeah.
the state of New York is going after him as well as the state of Michigan is also going after him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
That would be Tish.
I'm just gonna say like this: go ahead, Tish. That's our girl up there. She ain't play around. She
Mm-hmm.
ain't play around. Miss James up there, honey.
Mm-hmm. Because
Now,
she's going back around and got Donald Trump for something else.
hmm
After she
hmm
made that big old press conference, she
she like to
swung
do
right back
roundhouse kick.
around and got him for something else.
Mama said, "Get this good roundhouse kick. Come, we ain't done with you. Come on round. Come on round." So yes. Last one before we get to your boy Kanye, dear God of mercy, God of love. So this Jackson, Mississippi, I told y'all this was our Sugar Spike segment. This Jackson, Mississippi situation is way deeper than what we see and what we know
What
or what
Jackson?
they told us.
What Jackson, Mississippi
The
situation?
water crisis with
Oh,
Jackson, Mississippi. This
mm,
whole water crisis, it isn't just about they have flooding and the flooding caused the water filtration system to get messed up. They have been complaining about it for years
yeah. One of my
before this even happened.
one of my subscribers was telling me how long they have been complaining about the water issues. When Bell Collective, I distinctly remember when Bell Collective first started, there was news reports about water issues with Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm. Well, some of the backstory is years ago, about 10 years ago, the city signed a deal with Siemens. Yes, that Siemens, Siemens. Okay, please get your minds out of the other people. I
The
know this is the House of
telephone
Market.
people? That's the telephone people.
They got their hands in some of everybody. They are a
Okay.
major international conglomerate.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so and Siemens they signed a deal with Siemens, that's the city of Jackson, Mississippi, and there were all types of promises in there. The company mentioned that it would change its metering and billing systems, upgrade Jackson's water facilities, and set up the city so that disasters that happen, like the ones that happened a few months ago,
Mm-hmm.
um, wouldn't happen.
Mm,
So they were supposed to be upgrading their water facilities, upgrading the metering, and upgrading all of their water services so that exactly what just happened
mm-hmm.
after a natural disaster wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So um the city took out a $90,000 loan, $90 million loan, excuse me, not 90,000, a $90 million loan to pay for this, okay? Um but what happened was none of what they promised happened. None of it. None of what they promised happened. The water filtration system kept breaking. None of the things started working. Siemens wasn't doing anything to help them. They ended up accruing with all of the things that they had to do to keep trying to keep the water working or trying to fix the problem. It was a $450 million bill that the city,
Top of the
on
90?
top of the $90 million, because remember that was a loan which has interest. So
Mm-hmm.
then Siemens and its contractors agreed to settle with the city without admitting any wrongdoing and repaid the $90 million, but there was still interest on top of that $90
Right.
million. And then we still have $450 million worth of debt that we now have because we had to pay to fix the stuff that you said that you was going to be doing with this $90 million that we got the loan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dang.
So now, even with them repaying that $90 million, the city is still a
In the
half a
hole.
$1 billion in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you're talking about a water system that's non-functional. And then the the most idiotic part of it is every Republican member of Congress on both chambers voted against an infrastructure bill.
Mm-hmm.
The very same infrastructure bill that would have helped build a new water system and
Mm-hmm.
help with the problem that we have over here in Jackson, Mississippi. But they don't care because it's
Fly.
black people. It's black people.
They don't care.
They don't care.
I mean, the governor had his big water tanker truck parked
Mhm.
outside of the governor's mansion, and I'm just like,
You got the Democratic Party. We talked about this on Monday. You got the or Tuesday that was the Democratic Party out here ranting and raving against the progressives because they wrote a letter saying that we need diplomacy, all the while still trying to wage war in Ukraine and send. We're almost at $100 billion that we've sent over to Ukraine, but you don't have the money so that people can have drinking water within your borders.
meanwhile, Jackson, Mississippi gave Brett Favre millions of dollars to build a stadium. It's all
They
messed
said
up,
that
El Teddy.
they said just on the interest alone from that loan, the Jackson. Because remember when Siemens paid that $90 million, it's not like Jackson, Mississippi could say, "Oh, we just gonna pay that off on the loan." They were already $450 million in the hole.
Right, right.
So that couldn't even be used to pay the loan. It was used to try to get some of that 450 million down. And now they're estimating it could take until 2040 before they can finish paying off that loan.
Oh my God.
So now you have no water system, and then you damn near $500 million in debt.
That's right,
And that,
Diamond Pearl, welfare queen Favre.
mhm, this is what we have going on. But y'all voting against infrastructure bills that could put billions of dollars back into things like this, which is infrastructure. I'm just trying to make these people make sense.
Who's the senators
And
Ben Jealous? No, that ain't his
no,
name.
no, no.
The
I
man over
really
the January 6th committee. What's his
That's
name?
Thompson, Benny Thompson.
Yeah, he's Jackson, right?
But he's in the House.
Oh, he's in the House. He's in
He's
the
in the
House.
House. Yeah, right now we only have 3 black men in the Senate. That's Scott, Warnock, and Booker. And then we have. Do we have any? We don't have. Do we? I don't think we have any black female senators at all.
Val will be
No.
there soon.
Yep.
I'm gonna
So
claim Val gonna be there.
that's what we got going on in the great state of in the great city of Jackson, located in the state of Mississippi.
That's
Um,
sad. That
it
is
is.
horrible.
And that's a part of it that most of us would never have known. We thinking that what, like, we're looking at like, what the hell y'all been doing for the last couple of years, when really they absolutely tried to fix the problem. But
Right.
this global conglomerate who receives all types of benefits and stipends and kickbacks from the United States government is doing
So
wrong by these people.
the state can't sue Siemens, or are they not trying to sue Siemens?
I think they did. That's where the settlement came in. Because
Oh,
remember, Siemens settled without having to admit any wrongdoing, but they only gave them $90 million back. You forgot that we spent an extra 450 million trying to fix the problem.
because you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing.
Right. A mess. A damn mess.
Lamont says, is Candace Owens gonna do a doc on Brett Favre? No, she ain't doing no doc on Brett
You
Favre.
see that Candace Owens allegedly has said that she don't need Kanye West back on her platform no more. Now she's
What?
distancing herself. I saw that earlier. I said, what, I'm not.
Wait, Candace Owens said what? I'm Googling El Teddy. Candace Owens said what? This man done lost all his money because of her fool. Her manipulation and whispering in his ears. And she said, what? El Teddy.
Listen.
I'm Googling right now.
Because she said she was being threatened for supporting Kanye West and all of that stuff. And she she doesn't know if she needs him on her platform or something like that. I was like, girl, please find you something to do with yourself. Please, 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 ma'am. I can't with her. I'm not doing this with her.
Candace Owens claims she's being threatened for supporting Kanye West. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Oh, I saw this part.
So this is the quintessential case of backpedaling and pussy popping. Because
What?
what is Kanye West doing?
He's apologizing.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, I got excerpt from the apology. I
You know,
only I only did a portion of it because most of it was incoherent. Like you just couldn't make out what the hell he was talking about. Like, bro, he started talking about the Israelites and Abraham and the children of Israel and samurais. And it's a mess. It's a mess. I had to cut snippets. Here you go. Here we go. All right.
And for me to be a philosopher and a leader, whatever other language, I have to listen to God. So before God, what I will do is start off as a samurai and say, I'm sorry for hurting you as a Jewish person. I'm sorry for the way that made you feel. And I'm sorry for the entire population of a race that I feel is actually my brothers, because I classify and feel that I'm also connected with Christ in that way, that my people came from Africa in that way. And I can't say it's this exact teaching or that exact teaching, but I feel that there's a to get to the world. And when I'm in my way, if God has set something on me, when I'm in my important, the sons of Abraham, however we want to word it, right? For us to come together and bring our different talents together to serve God collectively. And he, as much of an alien as I am, he did not call for me to alienate.
Y'all know when I do this, y'all know when I be like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Ooh, yeah, you know what?
okay, let me run down the list. I wrote a list. Let me run down the list. This is all
Okay,
that.
hold on 1 second,
Okay.
Chapter. 1 second. For the
Okay.
people in the chat, we don't want the algorithm to hit us the wrong way. So when you mention them, say the Mountain Dew community, okay? We'll call them the Mountain Dew community. That's what we'll call them. So the algorithm don't get mad at us and we get Kanye round here. We'll call them the Mountain Dew community. There we go. Go ahead, Tabitha. Go ahead, Tabitha.
So this is everything that I know of that he has lost over the course of the last couple of days. His good label was dropped by Def Jam. The documentary that they were going to do has been shelved. The lawyer that he tried to get to take his case because he was losing so much, Kamala Vasquez, she was Johnny Depp's attorney. She agreed to take it, and then a few days later, she dropped his ass. Then he got dropped by Adidas. Then, he has the Donda Academy. And the Donda Academy has a high school basketball team. They were going to participate in a basketball tournament. They were banned from the basketball tournament. Then Foot Locker removed all of the products from their shelves. TJ Maxx removed all of the products from their shelves. Then Donda Academy shut down today to the end of the year. Then this was announced yesterday. Then today he sends all of the parents of the students at Donda Academy an invite to worship service. He shut down the school yesterday, then sent an email today inviting the parents to a worship service. It's $15,000 a head, non-refundable. And the school is shut down for the rest of the year. He went to Skechers trying to pitch a deal. Skechers escorted his ass off of the property. And so all of that took place.
Oh, don't forget Vogue, Balenciaga.
All of them, they dropped.
Balenciaga. The Gap said, get all your stuff out of our stores.
Now, the Gap I think they ended their agreement a couple of months ago,
They
but
still have some stuff in their stores.
yeah, they are taking everything out of the store. But you're right, Balenciaga,
Peloton said
Vogue,
that they will no longer be using any of his music during
Peloton,
any of their workouts.
Peloton
Baby,
says
with
they were.
Peloton, listen, TJ Maxx said no. When TJ Maxx is saying no, TJ Maxx carry everything. You can
And
find anything.
but
Listen, I got a lost kidney or a lost rib over there in TJ Maxx somewhere in a corner or on a shelf some damn where in TJ Maxx. Okay.
David says
Girl.
parents can't blame nobody but themselves. You're absolutely right, because Donda Academy was unaccredited.
Right. They had people that weren't even certified to teach over there teaching at that school.
Mm-hmm.
They had people working there as teachers that had not even graduated from college. I'm not making this up.
Mm-mm. You're not making it up. And
But
then
they
it
were
was
teaching.
in Simi Valley. I thought it was in Chicago. I thought
Mm-mm.
he was giving back to Chicago with the school. It's not in Chicago.
Mm-mm.
It's in California in some ritzy area. $15,000 a head.
I mean, he can go crawl up in the Kanye West estates. Doesn't he have a whole compound over in like Wyoming or somewhere?
He
I think he
does.
has like a whole compound and over in one of those, either the Dakotas or Wyoming, one of those states where ain't nothing at.
Right.
He can
Right.
go
Right.
over
Right.
there and live out his 400 million. I mean, that's enough for you to do what you need to do. Hopefully.
Yeah. Forbes took him off the $1 billion list and dropped his value to 400 million.
Now here's what gets me. Here's what gets me. Is
Let's
the
talk
people
about
out
it.
here talk about, so why we ain't standing by Kanye West like the Jewish people standing by themselves.
Mm.
Where was this energy when he was talking about us? And many times he's been talking about us. Because this ain't just started. He's been going in on black people for a long time.
Slavery was a choice.
Like at the point, see, this ain't the George W. Bush hates black people Kanye West.
Exactly.
Oh no, he took that hat off because he thought he put on what was his mantle of white supremacy and breastplate of white privilege, which he did not have. And he's learning today he does not have. He keeps claiming, oh, I'm a Jewish person. So what? So here's my thing. When he did this whole apology, yeah, because I'm a Jewish person, or when he even did it, I could talk about, I could be anti-Semitic because I'm Jewish or whatever, but you're black too. And so it's okay for you to talk about us, because I ain't heard no apology to the members of the black delegation. I ain't hear you dial it back at all. I ain't hear you give a good goddamn.
No apology towards the black community for hurting and traumatizing and putting the black community in danger. No apology.
And here's the thing. I got a news flash for a whole lot of people. Well, the people who trip me out is the people, well, y'all see how when he talked about the Jewish community, they ain't do nothing. But when he talked about the black community, when he talked about the Mountain Dew community, they did something. But when he talked about the black community, they didn't do nothing. Newsflash. That's been how this country has been since it started. You forgot that this country went and carved out a whole section of a country already established to give the Mountain Dew community their own country. You forgot that Joe Biden right now is turning a blind eye to the fact that Israel killed an American citizen over there who was a journalist over there. They killed her. It's already been proven. Killed her.
I heard something about that, yeah.
Killed this lady. And he just went the other day, I think it was 2 days ago, he was on a press conference talking about, oh, my thoughts and prayers go out to, I forgot the lady's name, it started with the M. But she was Palestinian, but she was an American citizen. And she was over there reporting, and Israel hit a bomb, and the lady died. She died. They bombed the lady. And every day they're bombing children and women over there. with no recourse at all. So you telling me that you're surprised that Kanye West has been cut off? And please don't make it like black people were out here screaming from the rooftops at Kanye West, because we have been. We
We have been.
absolutely have been out here screaming at Kanye West, telling him, y'all need not to support Kanye West. Y'all
Yep.
need not listen to his album. Y'all
Yep.
need not do that. But y'all don't care. Y'all are the ones keep doing that. So you same people wondering why the Mountain Dew, community is what they want is because you people don't do what the Mountain Dew community does. When the Mountain Dew
Exactly.
community get mad, they say, I don't care how good your stuff is, boo. I don't care how popular you are. We don't want no more. That's it.
Baby,
I
listen,
don't
when
want to
he
do that.
first started his rant on Morning Joe every morning, they had a representative from the Mountain Dew community calling for Kanye West to be canceled. And it happened until Adidas canceled them. Somebody was on Morning Joe every morning from the Mountain Dew community.
It was.
And unfortunately, the black community does not have that type of power. One, they've got Mountain Dew people in boardrooms all across the country. They've got Mountain Dew people all up there in Wall Street. They've got Mountain Dew people all up there in Congress, writing policy, implementing laws. They got Mountain Dew people in media. They got Mountain Dew people in the financial system, the banking system. So when you put all of that together, along with hardworking, everyday Mountain Dew people, and they're all coming to stand together, what you think gonna happen? We don't have that. We can't even get people to stop buying his ugly ass clothes and shoes.
Hello. Hello. Y'all over here calling this man a genius. Genius what?
No, he ain't no
Because
genius. A narcissist dealing with mental
exactly.
illness.
And what happened was, see, y'all conflate the fact that somebody has amassed a certain amount of money to them being a genius. And that's not the case. Because guess what happened? When they saw that Mr. West was popular amongst both the black and white community after that whole George W. Bush situation and
Yep.
after the Taylor Swift, they said, oh, we can capitalize on that. If we
Mhm.
get him to put on these Sambo slippers, if we
Mhm.
get him to learn this step and fetch routine,
Mhm.
and get him to do all of this, he can make
Mhm.
us a lot of money. Because
We gonna
please
hire
be clear,
Candace Owens. We gonna hire Candace Owens to
for the
manipulate
last
and whisper in his
10,
ear. Mm-hmm.
for the last 15 years or so, Kanye West has been making these people a whole lot of money. And as much money as you think he has, he's made them exponentially more money. And they capitalized on that. It wasn't about his genius, it was them saying, oh, let us capitalize on the fact that, oh, y'all like him? Oh, y'all think he's a genius? Great. We like that y'all think that. We love to play on that. And so let us give him all of these things. So while he's over here thinking he's pulling the strings and doing all of these things, sir, you weren't in the inner circle. You weren't in the inner room. You were on the outer door of the inner room, but you weren't in the inner room. You were not there. And that, what genius has a alleged $1.5 billion contract with Adidas, but you don't own the likeness, the name, or any of the intellectual rights or properties to that? What kind of genius is that? Because even if I wasn't that intellectually savvy, I should have a legal team or a group of people behind me, an engine behind me that can look into these things and see, in 3.5 seconds, I
He
should
fell
I
into
should
his own
surmise that.
hype. He fell into
Exactly.
his own hype. He really
It's the
thought he was
narcissism.
a genius.
It's the narcissism. Let's be
Yeah.
clear. Let's be clear. Now, this is the rap. The person who listens to rap to me. It's only two albums that I like of Kanye West. The rest of it I don't really listen to it and it's unlistenable to me. But I'm just old school like that. Only the first two albums for me. The rest of it, y'all can have it. It's garbage.
And so now you
Sorry,
got all of
not
these
garbage.
people talking about, well, the reason why it is, you know, they cave to the Mountain Dew community is because they stick together and we don't stick together. And why is that? Why is that? Were you speaking? I know I was speaking out. I know El Teddy was speaking out. I know Really B was speaking out. I know people that I follow over on TikTok was speaking out. People were speaking out over on Instagram. All of y'all, while we were speaking out, y'all was out buying his ugly shit.
Y'all
Thinking
out
it's
here over
funny.
here
Thinking it's
while we're
cute.
speaking out, because see, we've been speaking out. While we're speaking out, y'all over here calling him genius. Y'all
Yeah.
over here talking about some, oh, y'all don't understand him. Y'all
He's
don't
speaking in
understand his
truth.
plan. He
He's
got a
speaking in
plan.
truth.
He must be talking to
Okay.
Donald Trump for a reason. There's a reason he over there talking to Trump. And then when he said slavery was a choice, y'all over here trying to rationalize this dumb shit. Y'all over here, well, when you think about it, well, maybe you sound stupid as fuck.
And you know he got that from Candace Owens, right? She was there in the room. When I tell you, I've been watching Candace Owens and Kanye West for years, and she has been manipulating this man for years with her BS rhetoric. And she almost had him. She almost had him because she talked him into buying Parler. You remember Parler?
Mm-hmm.
She
Because
talked
that's
him
her
into
husband's
buying,
company.
that's her husband's company. And she talked him when he got kicked off of Twitter and Instagram. She said, why don't you just buy Parler?
And he did it
And
like
he
an idiot.
agreed.
And now he ain't got no money.
He ain't got no
Idiot.
money to I don't even I know they had settled on the price and they were moving to, you know, the next steps, and was even talking about the sale would be finished in December. Is that gonna happen? He ain't got no money. He ain't got enough money to buy Parler.
Because
That's
I
why
just
she's
talked
over
about
there.
his I just talked about his compound over there in Montana. Baby, that's expensive. Baby, you gotta pay property
Might have
taxes
to
over there
sell
on that
that.
compound. You gotta upkeep palatial estates like that.
Yeah, because I remember when he did that interview with Charlemagne, and they did it from the house in Wyoming, and he was showing us all of this land far as the eye can see. He owned all that shit. How you gonna pay for that? That's some upkeep.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta pay taxes on that.
Extra Smoke say Kanye has been kicking Kanye's ass for nearly a year.
Like, it's just my thing about it is it is so sad that you all are mad at the Mountain Dew community. I don't know why y'all are mad at them. First of all, I keep telling people it's not gonna make you go higher on the rung, on a higher rung in the ladder of success in life for you to try to bring down another group of people. That's not how this works. We as Black people are not going to become more highly regarded or look better upon by trying to push another group or community down. Because anytime you try to push other people down, please be clear, somebody's pushing you down.
We need to be
And,
trying to get like them.
like, I don't even understand. And let's be clear, I said this the other day when I was on with Really Me. The Mountain Dew community was there for Black people. Please be
They
clear.
were. They were.
They were absolutely there for Black people.
They were. And that's what they don't want. They don't want Black people and the Mountain Dew people to get together.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that. They don't want that at all. But I
So
don't feel sorry for him at all. I
I
don't.
do not.
I
I do
want
not.
him to fade away in obscurity. I want him to get some therapy and some medication and focus on raising his kids and being a good dad. Leave us alone. Leave us out of your nonsense. That's my prayer for Kanye West.
I told y'all this is the quintessential case of when Black men get rich and try to think that they ain't black no more. We got so many examples. We got too many examples to name over the history of time. They always end up crashing back down. The feathers melt in the sun, and you end up crashing down to the earth. Hello, Tiger. Hello, Bill. Hello, Kanye.
I'm done with Kanye.
I'm just saying. At least stupid ass Lil Wayne knew better enough than to go talking about the Mountain Dew community. He just left it to black people.
Who?
At least Ice Cube just left it to, I'm just gonna go over there and try and meet with Sunkiss Sunkiss guy, you know, Sunkiss orange soda. You know, he knew better than to. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, but that's just like, I'm gonna give you what example that's like. That's like when you was in your house with your brothers and sisters, right? You can cuss your brothers and sisters out as much as you want to, couldn't you? You might get a little slap on the wrist for the mom, you might get in trouble, but you could do that all you wanted to. It wasn't that big. It wasn't gonna kick you out the house. Talk about you finna start trying to fight your mama and cuss out, or fight your daddy and cuss them out. Where you gonna find yourself? Out the house. You ain't got nowhere to stay. And that's what we're talking about. You are talking about your bosses, the people who are feeding you, the people who are funding this lifestyle that you have, the people who are the reason why you're able to go on these platforms and say all of these things. And so even if I just leave it at that, regardless as to whether or not they're members of the Mountain Dew community, these are the people who are giving you the money. You just can't go. You thought you had the mantle of white supremacy and breastplate of white privilege, and you don't.
And he was willing to finance white supremacy with the purchase of that damn parlor. He was willing to finance.
Sure was.
White supremacy.
And was unapologetic about it. It's still unapologetic about it.
Yeah, and he still is unapologetic about it. Still
he doesn't feel like he has a reason. Now, when he gets real broke down, busted, disgusted, and destitute, he's gonna do like they all do. Try to come running back over here to us and try to play, oh, no, I ain't got nothing for you, bro.
I ain't got nothing.
Bro, I ain't got nothing but love for you.
It's good to see
and not
you.
Even that.
I'm glad you're doing all right.
Oh, you still around? Oh, I heard you died. Oh, I'm glad you ain't dead. All right. Well, let me know how you go, how everything's going. All right, I'll be over here and help you.
That's all I got for Kanye West. I do wish you go get you some meds, sir. Get you some meds. Get you go to therapy. Put your children first. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Go with God. Go with God. That's all I got. Go with God. Since you talk about God and aliens and samurai and Abraham, Isaac and Jacob and Noah, Ham, Shem, Japheth. I mean, who else we put in that? Elijah, Elisha, John the Baptist, Paul the Apostle. I mean, we just named them all.
Exactly.
Oh man. Tabitha, we've been on here about 2 hours. It's about time for us to go on. Listen, y'all, we done had a good time over here with Tabitha.
We had a good time over here.
Y'all asked us to come together, and it wasn't even a big news story today. You know what I'm saying? Some days we have big news story. It was like a light day, and we still was able to crank out these good almost 2 hours. We had a good time, y'all. Crank it out.
Thank you for having me, El Teddy. I had a good
thank
time.
You for having me. I had a good time. Tell the people where to find you, what you got going on next, and all of that good stuff.
Well, I don't have anything major. I'm just rolling with the flow. You can find me on Tabitha Speaks TV. You can also find me on Tabitha Speaks Politics on Tabitha Speaks TV. That's where I talk celebrity gossip, and I talk. I share information on stuff that I'm watching, any good docuseries, movies, that type of things. That's what's on Tabitha Speaks TV. Tabitha Speaks Politics. That's where I talk everything politics, social justice wise. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me over on Instagram. And you can find me on Twitter.
All right. Well,
thank
y'all
y'all
make
for
sure y'all
having
go
me.
to
I
that and
appreciate it.
love on Tabitha. It has been, we've had so much fun, y'all. I see
I've
y'all in the
enjoyed it.
chat. They in the chat talking about do this again. This was amazing. We have a good time, y'all. We may need to do a post or election coverage watch or something like that. Like on
Okay.
election night or something like that, or either
I
that
don't know
or the next
about
morning. Maybe the
listen,
next day. Because you
it's
know it
gotta-
didn't go in. You know, that was one of our stories we didn't do, the fact that they already got hundreds of cases already in court right now contesting the election that hasn't happened.
Well, you want to do it before, or you want to? I think it would be better to do it after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Afterwards, like maybe that Wednesday.
Okay.
And stuff
We might
like that.
have to vent. We might have to
Yeah.
do a lot of venting.
Right. May need to have a come to Jesus moment. You know, I may be up here
Thank you,
spiking out and
Tracy.
telling you, I told y'all, I tried to tell you stupid people.
Yeah, we might have to all come together and vent about it because wait, let's see.
We have to really be up here.
Wednesday. We can't do it Wednesday. Thursday, that following Thursday. Because
That
Wednesday I
Thursday
gotta go
after.
to the office. Yeah.
Okay. Cause we'll get really be up here. We'll do a whole election night recap.
Okay. Election night recap or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get all of the political pundits up here to talk about this stuff. So
right,
I hope y'all enjoyed. Like I always say to y'all before I finish, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged. They're much appreciated. I hope y'all appreciate this. Y'all can show Tabitha some love. Y'all can show me some love. And yeah, we'll have a good time. That is all we got for y'all. Shondo's in the chat. Shondo's around the building.
No.
Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We are out of here.
Later.